Let's see what happens if I do that.
It should take you to accept. Yeah.
Nope, that's not me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It
There's
is.
just a lag.
Delayed, yeah.
Okay. Great.
Okay, guys, I'm logged in.
Okay. Good deal.
Adjust it all.
Yeah, you could just tilt it this way a little bit. I'm going to mute this so not every. All right, little sound check here. Are you in, babe? Why don't you go up and check with... Sun is high, the time is now. There'll be no more turning around. My heart is red, my eyes are brown. Not just that it's working, but it sounds great. All right. Well, good evening, good people. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Welcome to my living room. And yeah, I'm just making a little tea. I'll be right back. And feel free, there's if you can access the chat box, sometimes on YouTube it works great and sometimes it doesn't. But, requests are welcome. All right, see you in a minute. Oh, so lovely to be with you. I haven't sung for people, well, in a little while. That's Lola's obviously thrilled about the proceedings. You never know. She might come alive eventually. Hey, so how are you? I hope you're doing okay. I have a friend here who actually his answer to that question all the time is, he says, well, let's start with this. We're not okay. And that's kind of our baseline. And that's probably true for a lot of us. Just the state of the world and this virus. And however, there's a lot we can do to combat feelings of being alone or being afraid or the world feeling chaotic. And this is one of those things to gather, even if it has to be over computers. So thanks for being here. The sun is high, the time is now. There'll be no more turning around. My heart is red, my eyes are brown. I used to say serious things in my oh so serious you. It turns out words and certainty are a substitute for truth. If I say I, maybe you will know who I am. I know a man with a shining eye, used to know too much. Now he knows so much less, and less is just enough. And I love a girl who wears her heart up above her head. And when she smiles upside down, she's right side up instead. Yellow moon, orange sky, streets that sweat with rain. Blue balloon, endless sigh, her breath becomes my name. And maybe you will know who I am. The sun is high, the time is now. There'll be no more turning around. My heart is red, my eyes are brown. Whew. Had to cough right in the middle of that one. Good evening. And hi, Philip Brown and Donald Davidoff and Michelle. Good to see you as well. Even if you're not the kind of person who usually chimes in on a chat, I sure would love it, or in the comments, I sure would love it if you at least said hi, because it's my only way to really, I can see how many of you are on here, but I can't see all your names unless you say hi. And this may feel good to you. I hope this evening feels good to you to connect over music on a Saturday night, but I could use a little of it too. So, all right. I have a bunch of songs planned for you, and of course, I see a few requests coming in as well already. And yeah, I'm going to be getting to as many of those as I can. Oh, my weary traveler upon the fallow ground, are you gazing skyward? Your knees are buckled down. Doubt and indecision are mapped upon your face. Your chosen soul collision has borne you to this place. Sing and wake your sacred heart and open your eyes to who you are. You are home. Oh, my weary traveler, there are angels where you are. They muscle up beside you and they speak their angel talk. And the words will come in thunder, the tune like gentle rain, and voices strong and tender, they're singing out your name. singing, wake your sacred heart and open your eyes to who you are. You are home. Lift up your eyes, kick off your shoes upon the fertile ground. Plant your seeds and knowing you were always homeward bound. You are home. 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 All right. Hi, T and Laura. Good to see you guys. Sort of. And Stephen. Yes, indeed. Stephen is requesting Three Fine Daughters of Farmer Brown in honor of Joe. That would be Joe Murphy, Julie Wells, the lead singer of Eddie from Ohio, her father, Joe. And if you are a regular at Eddie from Ohio shows over the years, you certainly have seen Joe doing this in the middle of Three Fine Daughters of Farmer Brown. He usually got more autograph requests than the band. And Joe finally passed away. I guess it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago. He was in his 90s. He lived a long and good life, but we do miss him. And I can also say that there's no way on earth I would remember all the words to the Three Fine Daughters of Farmer Brown. Only Julie can do that. So I'm sorry I can't pull that one in particular out, but we'll do one in honor of Joe at some point in the evening. So this is a song by a guy named Jackson C. Frank. And he only made one album, I think. I don't know, maybe he made a couple more, but only one that really got much notoriety, and it was his first. And it was produced by Paul Simon. And this was the most popular song off that album. And Jackson C. Frank had a very sad life after that. He dealt with a lot of mental illness, and depression, and substance abuse. Anyway, but Paul Simon and Simon and Garfunkel recorded this song later on. It's a great song, so I'm going to do this one. We can't go through an evening without a Paul Simon, at least a Paul Simon cover. A cover of a cover. Take a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are all the same. whiskey, baby, send out for gin. Me and room service, honey. Me and room service, babe. Me and room service. Oh, we're living a life of sin. But I'm not drinking, baby. You're on my mind. But I'm not sleeping, honey. And I ain't sleeping, mama. I ain't sleeping. You know you'll find me crying. In another city, baby, another town. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues come following down. Living is a gamble, baby, loving's much the same. Whenever I have played, whenever I roll them dice, whenever I have played, the blues have run the game. Maybe tomorrow, honey, someplace down the line, I'll wake up older, so much older, mama. I'll wake up older and just stop all my trying. Take a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are all the same. Probably not quite appropriate that I was smiling at the end of that song, but you know. She's well situated now, you can see. All right, let's see what we're going to do next. How about, yeah, I'm going to switch guitars on you. So, and I'm going to take a little moment to scroll through a little bit your requests. I'm so glad to be doing this. I haven't done much online singing. You know, it seems like the first maybe month or so, or even a couple months of the pandemic, you know, really back in March and April, felt like an extended snow day in a lot of ways. And that's not to trivialize what a lot of people have had to go through. But there was a lot of stuff going online, a lot of musical stuff. And of course, we've done what humans do. We adapt, right? And we've sort of figured out these remote lives. And they ebb and flow. You know, over the summer, we got to have a little more contact. And now it certainly seems like I feel like going back into hibernation a little bit right now. And that's probably a smart thing to do. But all of that is a way of saying that I miss singing for people. And I miss singing for you in particular. So thanks for being here. And if you're here for the first time, maybe you're not a member of the Patreon page, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad we could do this together on a Saturday night. I do some of these concerts. I'm starting to more and more often on the Patreon page. We'll be doing 6 of them in 2021. Every other month, we'll have a live concert. That's just one of the things that you get when you end up subscribing to the Patreon page. But anyway, Hi, Paul. I miss you too. You're in Chicago, I assume. Here's an old song of mine that I tried out when I was getting ready to do this, and I went, man, I like that song. I'm going to do that one. So. I don't like sympathizers. I don't like stumbling when I fall. Maybe I'm a proselytizing, singing, strumming, pain disguise, and bleeding hearted, death defying lover of all. But I do like public kisses, especially when they last a bit too long. And I've had some near misses. To tell the truth, the whole damn list is a bunch of ill-begotten wishes. Go on, prove me wrong. Resurrection. In Italy, they understand it. Every afternoon they go to sleep. The streets are filled with crazy drivers. Football's still the great uniter. Lazarus is not that time. Truth is in the centuries key. Resurrection. Resurrection. I like long hot showers. I like the sunlight in your hair. Maybe it's your girlish powers, the way you sing a bending flowers, the way you laugh when time is ours, slow and unaware. Resurrection. Oh, and hi, Uchenna. Uchenna's in St. Louis. Great to see you. Uchenna is responsible for maybe the most enjoyable live stream concert I've given over these months, which was to her class at school. We had a little concert. It was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this one got requested, I believe, by Michelle ahead of time. She's a planner. This is a song, actually, that it makes me think of these times we're in, really, because it's about a lot of things, but at least in small bits, it's about resilience, and it's about when the world doesn't go down the path you thought it was going to go down, well, then you change direction. So. We went parking in our car Yeah, we never left the driveway. We drank beer out of coffee cups. It tasted like our 20s. He said this is some kind of romance. I said we do what we have to. He said I love your taste in coffee cups. I said I love you. Can you hear the pounding in my chest? I can feel it in my feet. Baby, you can dance to it. It's got a backbeat when a soul grows hungry. You feed it, and you don't miss something until you need it. A habit looks you in the eye, and you kick it. Life gets broken, you fix it. You say we rarely expose ourselves. That's a fair interpretation. But now and again we flash such truth. You and I, one rain slicker nation. And as for me, I am doing just fine. It's as if we've come through slaughter. Now the beer, it goes down like wine. Wine goes down like water. Can you hear the pounding in my chest? I can feel it in my feet. Baby, you can dance to it. It's got a backbeat when a soul goes hungry. You feed it, and you don't miss something until you need it. A habit looks you in the eye, and you kick it when life gets broken, you fix it. We went parking in our car just 'cause we do what we have to. You said there's a whole lot of empty back seat back there. I said I love you. painting behind me is relatively new to us, to our house. It was actually painted, and it was a gift from Robbie Schaefer, who was the director of my musical Light Years at Signature Theater, and has become a dear friend through that process and since. And he's a wildly artistic guy, and took a chance, at a Tony Award winning theater like Signature on a guy like me who had never written a musical before. And I think that's one of the reasons we like each other, because we're willing to try stupid shit every now and then. So Eric is an incredibly creative guy, and he also paints in his free time. And I have to tell you, this kind of a painting behind me is not in my wheelhouse. It's not exactly what I usually go for. But I saw some of Eric's paintings, both in his own house and in his office, and there's something about the wash of color and the specific colors and the motion in it, the energy in it, that I just loved so much. And sure enough, I asked Eric a while ago if I could buy one of his paintings, and he said, I'll just paint you one. And I thought he'd forgotten about it. It'd been a bunch of months. Everybody's hiding away from COVID. And sure enough, a couple of weeks ago, I look out my window. We have this little courtyard in front with a little gate. And this enormous painting, which was wrapped up in Christmas wrap. There's Eric, like incognito with a hat and sunglasses, putting it over the gate and just leaving it there and running away. So here it is. And the good thing is that Eric and I have been at work during this COVID time. And usually we don't like announcing stuff like this, in public, because you don't want to announce stuff that you don't know if it'll ever happen. But I'll let you know tonight, since we're all here on the Patreon page, and that we've actually been working on turning Light Years into a screenplay. And it's just about there, actually. And I think we're gonna make a movie of it, which is pretty exciting. That's about all I can tell you now, because that's about all we know for sure now. But we've started to line up possibilities for making that. So I'm going to do a song from Light Years, and you can listen to it while taking a peek at Eric's handiwork behind me. You looked up at the stars and said, I don't know a single constellation. We lay on our backs, swallowing the nameless night, and though we fall in love with our particular formations, all we'll ever be is dark and light. I want to be of the earth. I want to breathe in the sound. Feel my hands reaching deep in the ground. I want to dance with the trees, not like some tree-hugging boy, just as a free-loving body embodying joy. I want to be in the world. I want to revel in toil. I want to feel my feet 10,000 feet in the soil. I want to burst when I'm full. I want to shine like I'm mad, not like a pattern of stars, just as the light that I am. You looked up at me and said, this must be the strangest conversation, lobbing our truths back and forth in aimless flight. And though we fall without particular translations, all will ever mean is love. And I wanna be of you. I wanna breathe in the sound, feel my hands reaching deep in the ground. I wanna dance with the tree, not like some tree-hugging boy, just as a free, loving body embodying joy. I wanna be in the world, I wanna revel in toil, I wanna feel my feet 10,000 feet in the soil. I wanna burst when I'm full, I wanna shine like I'm mad, not like a pattern of stars, just as the light that I am, not like a pattern of stars, just as the light that I am, not like a pattern of stars, just as the light that I am. Well, I have not played a whole lot of, or written, I should say. I've not written a whole lot of new music during this time. Actually, I guess that's not really true. Another thing I've been working on is a new musical for theater that I was working on before COVID time, in the before times, as we all now say. And I was working on it with a playwright named Grace Barnes. She's from Scotland. She lives in Scotland. And we were getting along with it pretty well and actually finished it during the first part of the pandemic. So I wrote a lot of songs for that. And we finished that probably right around May or June or so, of course, just in time for there to be no theaters that are open anyway. So that is called The Blue Poppy, and it'll show up in the world at some point, I'm sure. Just don't know where or when at this point, given the state of things. But that is actually another thing, and part of the reason we're here tonight that I wanted to do this free concert is hopefully some of you watching are not already members of my Patreon page. And in case you haven't browsed around, you can do so afterwards. But Patreon, essentially, it's kind of like Kickstarter, where you sort of you donate some money for, say, a project, a CD or a little invention or maybe a film or something, and you get stuff for what you donated, depending on how much you donated. Well, Patreon is not for a project; it's for a career. It's really more about building a community around a particular artist. And there's so many different kinds of artists. There's podcasters, there's musicians, there's inventors, there's all sorts of people on Patreon. But my Patreon page has become extra important to me, at least, during the pandemic, because it's one of the best ways for me to share stuff with you. I share demos of things, new songs that I've written. I shared songs from The Blue Poppy, this new musical, as they were written every month. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on here. I started a podcast that comes out every couple of weeks called Walk With Me. And I actually do record it while I'm walking. And I've really enjoyed making that too. So if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you be a part of this, and it supports my music. It supports me in a time when obviously all artists, or most artists, are struggling a bit. And you can do it for as little as $3 a month, as much as $80 a month. And either way, even if you don't join, I'm so glad you're here tonight. So here is one of the new songs I've written during this time. And that's not from The Blue Poppy. It's not from the musical. It's just a song. But I really like it, actually. So wrote it actually fairly recently. I think about maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that, and already shared a little video when I barely even knew it with the folks on the Patreon page. But hopefully I know it a little bit better tonight. I'm not sure. This is called Welcome Back from the Wilderness. For a while now, you've been just at the end of my fingertips, circling while you're navigating your way to the heart of this. I'm preparing a place in the shape of a map. It traces the words from your lips. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back from the wilderness. For a while now, I've been comforted by my own company, wilding away to the quickening spark at the heart of me. I'm preparing the song of my longing that floats on the rise and the fall of your chest. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back from the wilderness. Maybe the safety of one had become just enough sometimes, but nothing prepared me compares to the weight of your hand in the palm of mine. Only now do I see that on our way home, every staggering step has been blessed. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back from the wilderness. All right, here's one not by me. I've told this story before, but when I first met my wife and I was wooing her, as one does, one night I brought my guitar over and decided I would sing to her at her kitchen table, sing for her at her kitchen table. Anyway, I started playing a few songs, and I played one of mine, but then I played a Bob Dylan song, and then I played this next song as well, also a Bob Dylan song, and she started singing along. And that was not how I'd planned the evening, really. my plan was to go in and sing, and she would become Twitter-pated. I love that word. I just wanted to work it in somewhere. My plan wasn't to have a sing-along. No, I'm the star here. I'm wooing you. Anyway, the thing is that her voice is my favorite thing in the world, so it worked out pretty well. Anyway, so she's listening upstairs right now, I think, or at least she better be. This is a Bob Dylan song. I seen love go by my door. It's never been this close before. Never been so easy or so slow. I've been moving in the dark too long. Something's not right, it's wrong. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Purple clover, queen and lace, crimson hair across your face. You can make me cry if you don't know. Don't remember what I was thinking of. You might be spoiling me with too much love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Flowers on the hillside going crazy. Crickets talking back and forth rhyme. Blue river running slow and lazy. I can stay with you forever. Never realized the time. Situations have ended sad. Relationships have all been bad. Might have been like Verlaine and Rimbaud. There's no way that I can compare those other scenes to this one. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm doing, staying far behind without you. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm saying. You're gonna make me give myself a good talking to. But I'll look for you in Honolulu, San Francisco, Ashton Butte. You're gonna have to leave me now, I know. And I'll see you in the sky above, in the tall grass and in the ones I know. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me lonesome. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, Noreen, I haven't heard it in a long time either. So, this is a song that kind of came out of the blue for me. Not a lot of songs do I write out of the blue. But this was one that literally woke me up in the middle of the night, and many, many, many years ago. And I'd been sort of in a drought of writing, which also doesn't happen to me that often, but it had then, which is pretty worrisome when it happens. I don't mind telling you. And then this guy woke me up in the middle of the night. So I'm going to play this song, but I'm also it got requested right at the beginning by a couple of different people, I believe. Maybe Philip and Steven, I'm not sure who, but But you also, we mentioned Julie Wells, the singer for Eddie from Ohio, and her father, Joe, who had passed away in the last couple of weeks. And while I can't do the 3 Fine Daughters of Farmer Brown for you, that's truly the purview of Eddie from Ohio. I can do this one, and I think this was Joe's favorite song of mine that I'd ever written. He asked for it often. And the funny thing about Joe Murphy was that, Eddie from Ohio in a lot of ways almost didn't happen because we were just messing around, playing in bars and mostly covers and that kind of a thing. And it started picking up steam and we started writing songs. But Julie had a career in HR, believe it or not. She had a career in HR. That's what she studied in college, was hotel restaurant management. And she was working, I can't remember, maybe at a Holiday Inn or something around here, and got a promotion. And she was supposed to move to Cincinnati to take that promotion. She absolutely was going to do that. And it was right when Eddie from Ohio was picking up steam, and it just kind of broke our hearts a little bit. And I remember talking to her on the phone. It was kind of like a little crisis for her because she wasn't sure what she wanted to do. At first, she had decided to take the job, and then she started second guessing herself. And really, it was the night before she was supposed to accept the job. And I was on the phone with her for a long time. And obviously, she didn't take the job, which I think was a brave decision and a hard one. But once she made the decision, it was an obvious one for her. But of course, then the hardest part came that she had to then tell her parents that she wasn't moving to Cincinnati to take a promotion because she wanted to ride around the country in a van with a bunch of guys. So you can imagine how well that went over. And especially her father, Joe, was not very pleased. And it was a long time, maybe even a week, before Joe came around to see the light. He became our biggest fan by far, actually. Anyway, so I'll send this one out to all of you, of course, who requested it, but also to Joe Murphy. Actually, before I do the song, I got to tell you another Joe story because I just thought of it. One of the band's favorite Joe stories was that we used to play the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival in upstate New York every year. I mean, we played it a whole bunch of years. It's a big festival. About, I think, I don't know, 7,000 people maybe would come to it, 8,000 people. Anyway, a big hippie fest, as they say. And you have to keep in mind, Julie's dad, Joe, our biggest fan, would come to a lot of these things, he and his wife, Kitty. And he stuck out a little bit, you know. He was older. He was in his 80s, I think, at the time. Pretty conservative guy, devoutly Catholic. And in front of the main stage, there would be all these people on this big hill. These 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people on a big hill. And just sort of a pathway right through the middle that people could walk through. And everybody's just sort of camped out on the hill. And you could go up and down through that little aisle in the middle. And Eddie from Ohio is sitting there. We're on stage, playing the main stage. And all of a sudden we see Joe start to come down the aisle. I don't know, he maybe needed to go to the bathroom, or I don't know what he was doing. The problem is that at the same time, coming up the aisle was a young woman with no top on and pierced nipples. And everything kind of went into slow motion for all of us. We saw the collision that was about to happen. And the look on Joe's face was the most priceless thing I think that's ever happened to this band in the history of Eddie from Ohio. It's like he had just landed on Mars. Anyway, I don't remember what happened next, but that's one of my favorite Joe stories. In this city of peace, I have seen none, and these ancient prophecies say we all will be as one, though the walls will hold hatred and your streets still call my name. Oh, I bid you peace, Jerusalem. These 7 hills will be your resting place. The sons and our daughters never feel the grace. Within the towers, within the halls of this town, this prodigal son has come full circle, one full circle around. In this city of peace, I have seen none, and these ancient prophecies say we all will be as one, though the walls will hold hatred and your streets still call my name. Oh, I bid you peace, Jerusalem. Our children will lay on your hills. Our fathers will find us and comfort us still. Blood of the centuries, you have seen enough, but there is a time for love. There is a time for love. Within the towers, within the halls of this town, this prodigal son has come full circle, one full circle around. In this city of peace, I have seen none, and these ancient prophecies say we all must be as one, though the walls will hold hatred and your streets still call my name. Oh, I bid you peace. Oh, I bid you peace. Oh, I bid you peace, Jerusalem. 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 going to do a few more here for you. And I want to remind you that I don't know, does this show up backwards or frontwards on your screen? Anyway, it says, let's talk about our feelings. I got it, actually, a fabulous poet named Nasima B.E. And if you want, I'll put her in the comments box if you want to see actually how you spell her name. But she wrote a poem for me. She was out at a farmer's market and wrote a poem for me in like 10 minutes. And you can actually it's a great, great gift. You can actually go on her website and pay as a gift to have her create a poem with you via Zoom in real time. And for yourself, for anyone, for people you love, what a fantastic holiday gift as far as I'm concerned. So her name is Nasima B.E. and I will before we get out of here, I'll put a link to her. Actually, Jana, would you do that? Would you find her website and just put it up in the comments? That would be great. Okay, we'll get it up there for you. So I highly recommend it, and this is a T-shirt I bought off Nasima. And it's a reminder, to me to feel stuff because, well, that's kind of my default anyway, is to feel stuff. When we're all so stressed out and sort of in fight or flight a lot of the time, that's when we tend to shut down on what we feel. And there's so much going on, you kind of can't keep up with it emotionally. But I hope maybe an evening like this and some music, and I'm sure you're accessing music in other places, helps you to feel stuff. Because that's my job, help you to feel stuff. Because when we feel stuff, it's like the word recognize, right? It means to know again, recognize. It's like we remember ourselves. We're reminded of who we are. And when we're reminded of that, when we recognize and re-know ourselves, it's easier to recognize other people. Because it's real easy right now to see other people as an idea, not as a face, not as two eyes, not as a human being who's complicated and messy. And if we can see ourselves a little more intimately, then maybe we can see other people that way. And boy, I think that would go a long way toward peace in our communities, in our towns, in our country, in our world. So all that said, I'm going to sing a song about an enormous Jesus. A 60-foot Jesus rising out of the water on the side of the interstate, waist deep in rapture. And I am left thinking with a heart full of love, why is he swimming when he can walk on that stuff? And I prayed for a miracle, I prayed for a sign, like a dream in the desert or a voice in the night. And all that I'm left with, all that I know is salvation is horizon just east of Monroe. Eyes on the mystery, hands reaching out, frozen in a glorious moment of doubt. The radio's playing some old Teddy Pendergrass. We drive by the prints made of peace and fiberglass. And I prayed for a miracle, I prayed for a sign, like a dream in the desert or a voice in the night. And all that I'm left salvation is rising just east of Monroe. Next door the lights are blinking at the hustlers of Hollywood. 21 ways that to spend your life feeling good. Tender hearts hide behind dollars and drinking, saying I should be rising. It feels like I'm sinking, and the 60-foot Jesus sits on the interstate, winks at me sideways. The earthbound potentate, and there's a light where you look for it. There's a light where you need it, but it's only a miracle if you show up to receive it. And I prayed for a miracle, I prayed for a sign, like a dream in the desert or a voice in the night. And all that I'm left with, all that I know is I'm awake on a highway just east of Monroe. Hey, I'm going to do one more song for you, and I want to thank you for spending Saturday evening, or at least a little bit of it. You still have time for Netflix. If you haven't watched The Queen's Gambit, I know it's all the rage, but I watched it before anybody. No, actually, I didn't. I'm a lemming just like the rest of you. We discovered it, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something like that. Fantastic. Queen's Gambit. If you're looking for something to watch. But mostly I just want to thank you for spending part of your Saturday with me and letting me sing a little bit for people. I haven't done a whole lot of that. And it feels really good. It kind of reminds me, oh, that's right. You can do that. So that's a nice feeling. So that I can keep sharing stuff with you. If you're not a part of our Patreon community, you can subscribe. You probably got here via the Patreon page. If you didn't, if you came straight to YouTube somehow or something like that, you can get there. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Robbie Schaefer. And for as little as $3 a month, as much as $80 a month, you can support the stuff that I make because, you know, I like to make stuff. And I like to make stuff for you. So we get to we get to share stuff on there, and sometimes we share it as a community, and sometimes I'm just sharing stuff with you that I'm working on, or thoughts that I'm having, new songs, my podcast that I mentioned. We have brand new things coming at certain tier levels. We actually have tote bags and t-shirts. That's right, tote bags and t-shirts, which makes us officially as cool as NPR. So I'd love it if you check that out. And thank you, all of you, for being here. I'll see you real soon, I hope. Have fantastic holidays if I don't see you before then. I saw a thing, Hanukkah starts this coming week, and that when we find ourselves in darkness, we light a candle. And I love that, and I try to remind myself of that every day now, and especially going into this winter. It looks like it's going to be a really difficult one. So wear your mask. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you love. Take care of a few people you don't love. And I hope to see you on here before too long. lose my sight, I will curl into a nest in a reckless sleep last night. I will sing until you rest, 'cause I love you all so well, more than my mouth could ever mean. Look up and you will know me, evergreen, evergreen. If I lose my legs in a war I've never seen, I will tumble into space, my heart a trampoline. 'Cause I love you all so well, more than my mouth could ever mean. Look up and you will know me, evergreen, evergreen. If I lose my mind, I will climb up on a hill with this empty head of mine and a heart that's full and still. I will love you all so well, more than my mouth could ever mean. Look up and you will know me, evergreen, evergreen. Take care of one another, okay? And I hope to see you really, really soon. I miss you. Thanks for being here. Bye.